Let me start with paying my gratitude to everyone who's involved with Outlive. The reason why is because you guys are doing amazing work towards the humanity. I will say the reason why is because we need more people like you more than ever right now, especially after COVID. Now, talking about me, I am Jaikishan Sharma. I live in Melbourne, Australia. I'm a father, husband, son, brother. Have a wonderful family right here with me in Melbourne. And at the present moment, what I do is I'm a coach. I help people to overcome mindset obstacles in their personal and professional life. And at the same time, I also help some small businesses to scale their business on social media. Let me start with paying my gratitude to everyone who's involved with Outlive. The reason why is because you guys are doing amazing work towards the humanity. I will say the reason why is because we need more people like you offer hope and encouragement to those who may feel trapped in their own life or in their head. That's the whole reason why I came out in 2020 and started talking about it. My story is a testament to the possibility of transformation and recovery, whether it's physical, financial, mental, or a relationship with me and my wife. Because I was in the very dark place for almost 3.5 years when I was confined with that wheelchair and with the reality that life is unpredictable. You never know what can happen the next minute. That's why I always tell to live your life with a gratitude. And by sharing my journey, I hope that I can break down the stigma surrounding the mental health, especially, and help people to understand that if you have the clarity with yourself, then you can achieve everything in your life. It all started in 2015 when my life took a dramatic turn, and when I was involved in a severe accident, and because of that I was paralyzed below my waist. So I had no sensation, no movements, and when I ended up in the hospital after that accident, I had to go through a 10 hours surgery. And after the surgery, there was a moment where I felt that I am falling down in pieces, just like the World Trade Center on 9/11. You know, because the surgeon and the doctors came up to me and told me that, Jaikishan, even though we have performed our surgery and we have done everything what we can, but there is only 5% chance that you might walk again ever in your life. You know, and that not only broke me, that broke the people, those who were connected with me. My wife, my mom, my sister. And that moment, as I said, was like a 9/11 World Trade Center terrorist attack, where we all saw what happened. The building was coming down in pieces. I saw my life coming down in pieces. The reason why is because just day before the accident, I was made redundant from my workplace. Okay. And when I got into the accident, I was going to see my friend for a job opportunity. Okay. Now, 6 months ago, the accident and the redundancy, I moved into this house where I'm sitting right now and talking to you. And this was my first house in Melbourne. So whatever saving I had vanished because I put that into the deposit for this house. Now, 2 months ago, the accident, we were blessed with the baby girl in August 2020, 2015. Okay. So I had the responsibility on my shoulders. And when somebody tells you that you will be not walking back again ever, you won't be getting back on your feet ever again, that's the end of your life, because you cannot imagine anything without not having a feet, without not having the most important part of your human body, and that's exactly what happened on that day, on the 12th of October 2015. And as we been raised in the Asian culture and the custom, we have been always told that the man is the provider and the protector of the family, and because of that instinct conditioned into especially the man, the boys, is affecting mental health a lot in the in their life in the long run, because The reason why they don't share is because they are afraid that what people will think about them when they will start sharing about their internal struggle they are going through. And that's exactly what happened with me. Because of that conditioned mindset, I thought that I am the protector, I'm the provider to my wife, to my little girl, to my mom, to my sister. And now I'm lying on this bed, and you are telling me that I will never walk again. How I'm going to survive? How I'm going to provide them food, the day to day life, which I'm responsible for. When I was in hospital, I think I was still coping up. The reason why is because I had people around me and they were strangers because they were not judging me, you see. But when I came home, I had me, my wife, and my two, 6, 7 months old baby girl at that time, you know. And now when I came home, it was like everything inside, nothing external, because I cannot talk, I cannot share, because I didn't want it to put my wife into more stress, you know. And I didn't realize she was doing the same. She didn't share with me, she didn't spoke about anything with me. The reason why she didn't wanted to put me into more stress, you know. And that's how the life started. Once I came back and we were quiet, you know, she was doing her chores and I was sitting on the wheelchair, spending my time just going through all the negative thoughts. I was struck with the severe depression in that moment, was on a depression medication, was on anxiety. And this is what I think, that at that present moment, the biggest reason of being into the stress and anxiety as a man was the finance, because there was no money coming in. Okay, I was out of work. Wife was out of work already because she was pregnant at that time when she left the job, and 2 months later I was into the accident, so she didn't got a chance to go back to work. So there was no money coming in, so I was constantly worried. I was like, how I'm going to pay the mortgage of this house? So I was asking my wife, like, it's been 7, 8 months, I was in hospital, who was paying for the mortgage, because we didn't have much savings. And she's like, don't worry, everything is taken care of, you don't have to stress about the mortgage and everything. I was like, no, I want to know. And she never told me, and she keep stay avoiding those questions. And when I was in hospital, I think I was still coping up. The reason why is because I had people around me and they were strangers because they were not judging me, you see. But when I came home, I had me, my wife, and my two, 6, 7 months old baby girl at that time, you know. And now when I came home, it was like everything inside, nothing external, because I cannot talk, I cannot share, because I didn't want it to put my wife into more stress, you know. And I didn't realize she was doing the same. I was like, you have to tell me, otherwise, it's not going to work, because I'm really in stress. As soon as someone knocks the door, I think it's people asking. People will knock from bank or from recovery, and they will ask me to get out of the house. That's the thought I always had. As soon as somebody, whether it's my friends coming home or anybody knocking the door, that's exactly I felt. And then one day she told me that, Jackie, it's mom sending money from India every month, and she's borrowing from relatives, friends, and she's borrowing money from private lenders on interest. And that struck me hard. That broke me from within. I was so broke at that moment when she told me. And and I think that was the main reason of me attempting those 3 suicide attempts in 2016, October, September. As a son, you always want to give it to your parents as much as you can, because they have done everything what they can to bring you where you are today in this world. And I always had that passion and commitment within me that I want to do something amazing for my mom. uh, because when I came to Australia in 2007, just month after my father passed away because of a heart attack, and so I only had my mom, so I really wanted to do something for her. As a son, you always want to give it to your parents as much as you can, because they have done everything what they can to bring you where you. I just wanted to end this. I was like, I am done. This is end. Like when your parents have to go and ask and beg for money, it's done. And I was keep thinking that what has gone wrong with me, what I have done that I deserve this life, you know But looking back on those days, I see that those moments of crisis where your character come out, and you get those profound sense of hopelessness and the belief that my situation would never improve, you know. But it's crucial to understand that those kind of moments and adversity makes you more stronger, because when you look adversity with curiosity, you learn, you explore, you become wise. And when you become wise, you have that clarity, so you can make the right decision. And why I started looking at it with the curiosity is because there is a moment which where it all started from, and that was in late November 2016. I was sitting on the wheelchair, watching TV, uh, and my daughter was playing with the toys at that moment, just right in front of me on the floor. And she looked into my eyes, and there was a moment, and I always tell people that moment was like a movie of a Shah Rukh Khan where he watches into the heroine's eyes and everything's freeze and there's a music. And that exactly what happened. Everything froze, and I was like, what is going on? And I had those whispers, you know, in my ears that, Daddy, you can do it. You can do it. you know I literally had that moment. And that's why I always tell people that everything happens to you in this life is because of the things you are connected with. And why do I say that? Is because I believe in the energy of the universe. The birds do not fly, they ride the wind. And fish do not swim, they are carried, because they believe in the power of that energy. And that moment gave me that magical spark within my body and my spine, that suddenly I had two thoughts. One, either I accept the things as they are and live my life by default, or I do something about it and change that 5% chance which doctor gave me in 2015 on that hospital bed, and turn that into a 500% and live my life by design. And that's exactly what I done. From that moment, I committed myself. I was like, I'm going to do everything what is in my power to get out of this wheelchair. Or if I'm not able to get out of the wheelchair, I'm not going to disappoint these people, those who really believe in me. And from that moment, I literally ignited that spark, and which lead me to the choice of not having rejection or regret in my life.
Mm-hmm. And how did you start redesigning your life from that moment? What changed? Because we know that your thoughts changed, but
Yeah.
how did they translate into action?
So the first thing came up to my mind. I was like, if I am going through this in my life, there are thousands and millions of people around the world who might be going through this physical trauma, mental trauma, or financial stress. And then I wanted to find out, if they are going through this, there will be a handful of people, those who have might achieved something out of this,
Yeah.
those who have might live their life by design, those who have might got out of a wheelchair or might have done something amazing. So I wanted to find out who those people are, and if I can speak to someone, if I can connect with someone. And we are lucky that we are in the world of internet, and the information is easily accessible for us nowadays. I literally went. I literally began my journey of self discovery, focusing on connecting with others around the world. Finding them, learning from them. Then I started involving myself with some self personal development books, and then I also come across a few people who have taught me about. Working on your self belief system, and how you can empower your emotions, because your emotions equals motion, to do with your mental stability and your emotional stability. But the real struggle was physical as well. And with the physical, I found, when I was going through a lot of books and learning through other people, I found an exercise, the hydro exercise, which you do underwater. And so I spoke to my doctors. I was like, I found this. Do we have in Australia? Can we do this? So they said, yes, definitely. And they were surprised that I was talking about it, instead of anybody coming to me and telling me from the doctor's end. they were like, this is really good thought, Jaikishan. You can put yourself into the hydro sessions and that can really help you. And then I started going every single week. And I did that from 2018, 19. And then on February 2019, I was literally sitting on my wheelchair in the morning, and I was just like, I was like this, and I looked at my feet and I saw my toe and it moved. It literally moved like this. I was like, I called my wife. I was like, Rashmi, come, Rashmi. मैंने उसको बुलाया. मैंने बोला, यार, you need to see this. And she's like, what happened? She got scared. She thought maybe I fall down or something happened. And she came and she literally saw and she started crying and we literally called our doctors. I was like, I want to see my neurosurgeon right now. So we booked an appointment after 2 weeks, and I went and I literally saw him that my all toes are moving now, and he was literally happy to see me after 2015 to 2019, almost 3 years, and he was surprised. And then he's like, Jackie, keep doing what you're doing because that's working and it's a miracle. And I forced myself, I doubled down, and I was like, if this can move, I can move. And from there, it started. And like 3, 4 months, I was taking few steps, like 2, 3 steps in the house. And that was like, I have no words because that I never expected that I will be back on my feet the way things were going at that time. But surprisingly, I'm here, uh, you know, going around the world now, and not only myself, but I take my mom everywhere I go in a business class because I want to pay her everything what she has done for me, because I believe that's if they would have been not there at that moment, I would have not achieved what I have achieved in my life.
From you talking to somebody overseas and understanding their experience to telling your own story today with so many others. I think, firstly, like, congratulations. And I feel so grateful to just hear your story and share this experience with you. Thank you so much for trusting us and being so honest. And so open and vulnerable in sharing your story. And from what I see is having a very supportive family, having a very strong belief system, and actually not just working on the outward but inward are the things that really helped you. And like you said, that listening to stories of others who've gone through a similar experience is a very big source of hope. It's a source of validation, and that's something that we at Outlive also do, because there are so many people who come on our website and read blogs and stories of people who are probably in the same place they are right now, and they feel that, oh, if this person can do it, I can do it too. And I'm sure there would be people who can benefit from your story as well. How are you doing today? How are things now? How's your body? How's your mental health? How's your family? How's life? And we know the answer to this question, which I'm going to ask is, does it get better? And the answer is yes. But just your words of wisdom on it.
Yeah. At the present moment, I am in a much better place. Okay, mentally, emotionally, physically, I still have struggles because of the chronic illness after the surgery. I am on a medication which I take. I do not push myself physically a lot. Okay, I always make sure that I am home. Whatever I do it from my workstation. If I had to, then I travel and do what I can. I have transformed my approach to life in last couple of years and have built a supportive network and the community around me. I have managed myself accepting challenge, whatever comes to me, because it doesn't matter whatever I have achieved. I won't have bad days. I still have bad days. I still have those patterns coming back in sometimes. But now I know how to cope up with them. Now I know how to deal with them, and that's what I do. And my life now revolves around helping others, to overcome the obstacles. And that's what passionates me. That's what makes me wake up every morning. And that's what I love about. So life at the present moment is not about regret. It's about love, because uh, self-love is the gold mine of all the love. You see, so when you start loving yourself, you start loving everything, because you are in the space where you meant to be. And I believe that the reason I was sitting on that wheelchair is because of that I can live the life what I'm living right now. I can find the purpose what I found after having that moment with my daughter. And each day is a testament to the strength I have found in self belief and myself. So things is great, I will say.
Thank you so much, Jaikishan, for sharing your story and your experience with us. I'm personally taking a lot from your story. Is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Uh, to end this, I will say that do not let your temporary emotions overtake or dictate your future, because they are just a passing thing. Dictate your emotions as you want, because that is the one thing which is stopping you taking that next step,
Mm.
achieving what you really want to achieve. As I said earlier, that emotions equals motion.
Yeah.
If you start controlling your emotion right now, you can control your motion tomorrow.